So that's another thing too. I don't think we had anybody in the gym that was upset about the standard or saying, no, this standard screwed me. It was more of us saying, thank God this standard was put in place, because now it's impossible to cheat that standard.
Welcome to the CrossFit East 10 Over the Bar podcast. The goal of this podcast is to answer common questions and encourage conversation between coaches, members, and the community.
We should really be focusing on building a base, building our absolute strength, building our gymnastic strength, building our capacity.
Josh Brock here with head coach of CrossFit East 10, Rob Stacy. We're going to do a quick recap on the Open and some of the achievements that we made here as a box. I hope everybody had fun during the Open, and hopefully you did something that you didn't think you could do. You really pushed yourself to the limit. How did we do in the Open as a box?
Well, this year in the Open, it's kind of funny because we improved, but it's not improvement that you would think would be drastic. But of course, when you got to understand, when I tell you the rankings and everything, it was already previously pretty high. So to make that jump even more, you've got to be even better. And when I say better, I mean like on terms of everything. So as a box, though, we actually finished last year, 2017, 79th overall in the region. And this year we actually finished 73rd.
Nice.
They only take 20 out of the top region to the CrossFit game, or to the regionals. So that being said, like, we're at a pretty high level where it's going to take like a lot of effort from everybody pulling together to increase that. As far as our scoring goes, it's much higher than other gyms, comparatively ranked from their top four. So what I'm getting at, you might have a gym that has a crazy good top four, and then everybody else at the gym is just okay. Our gym has a pretty good top four, and then after that, we have a very large bunch of people that are really close together that are pushing those top four. So I'm really proud of it. We came 12th in the state of Tennessee. One of our top scores in the workouts was 18-2A, which was the clean. We actually came in 36, and what's crazy about that is Coach Matt actually PR'd his clean in 18-2A, and his clean in 18-2A was actually 3:35, but we went with his lower time and his lower lift, which was actually 3:25. So if Matt would have kept his top time, if we would have, or top lift, we'd actually scored even higher. That's 10 more pounds added to our total. We've probably been around the top 25 in strength in the region. So top 25, I mean, that's pushing at regional teams now. We're pushing towards the regional teams with just the people we have with a strength base. So that being said, also, we were also the number one box in the area.
Not region,
but the area.
Yeah.
And right now, we're the second fittest team, not that I'm to knowledge of, in East Tennessee. So that's from East Tennessee, stopping at Knoxville, going all the way to Mountain City.
Yeah.
So from Knoxville to Mountain City, we're the second fittest gym in that area. There's a couple people that we need to highlight too on this. So as a box, we had a lot of members do well, and I'll go over the ranking of our workouts as a box too at the end to kind of give you a breakdown of like what's to see in the future, what do we need to improve on, what do I view as like the biggest weaknesses. So we'll go over that here in a little bit. But one of the biggest things I need to talk about is the fact that we had somebody make regionals. Nobody realizes this.
Nobody realizes it. I didn't wait till I came in today.
Yeah, we've yet to break this news because we wanted to make sure that we have all our videos and all that stuff in line. But Patty Holbrook is a regional girl now. So in her division, the 60-plus masters, female, they take the top 200 in the world. Patty came in at 76th in the world. Patty is the number one 60-year-old or 60-plus female in the state of Tennessee. Patty is 6th in our region, which our region makes up the state of Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, and I'm forgetting some. But you get it, the region's pretty big, all right? What's funny about this is Coach Brett, who's actually personal trains her on the side too, is in charge of her regional prep. We're going to take a test run with it this year and see how she does. That being said, she's going to test the workouts, or she's going to do the regional workouts. If we get all the videos in and everything's in check, which I'm sure they will be. But it's a big accomplishment, and we just don't like to break news and start bragging about stuff until it's time until it's 100% time to do that. And that's part of the integrity of the sport. We're not here to brash or beat down other people and say, that person's not good enough. Or we just want our members on the spotlight and not us as a coaching staff. And Patty is there. So if you're wanting to jump in on some of these regional workouts with her, she's going to need it. But it's going to be a great experience for her. She asked me why she should do it, and I said, Patty, it's an experience you can look back and tell your grandkids, hey, I did that. I accomplished that. Whether you qualify for the games or not, it does not matter. Like this is like getting the reward for all your hard work you put in for the year. So you should view it as that and take all the pressure off of you and let us take the pressure of getting you prepared.
Yep. So everybody reach out to Patty whenever you see her at the gym. Congratulate her and jump in on the workouts with her whenever they do them.
All right, so we got a couple other people too that I'd like to highlight, and a couple of these people, and we break down stuff in percentiles and divisions, and not just your overall open score. Because again, I've talked about this before. I'm not in the business of caring about what everybody else does. I care about where you're at and what you're doing. So accomplishments that I've seen people have this year. Justin Bradley, also known as Louie, came top 15 in his age group this year. He was actually talking to me earlier today, and he's like, I only jumped up a couple spots. I was like, jumping up a couple spots better than none.
Yeah.
So talking to him too, also building on his strength. He's a great endurance athlete. Like one of the workouts, 18.2, he had one of the top scores in the scale division for his workout. Nobody realizes that he was almost sub 6 minutes on that workout, which was big for him in that workout. But getting his strength up is something that we've been working on. We've got him working on his squat cycle and working on his technique and his flaws that he has and some of his technical lifts. And the more he increases that, the more he's going to improve. And like we've talking about maybe even getting to the RX division next year. So it's going to be big for him. A couple other people we mentioned, Coach Matt, PRing is clean by 10 pounds in the open. Something that he's going to build on this year. Again, he's a little opposite. So his strength is pretty good right now. He's got to build an engine and just experience with the sport. Once he gets more CrossFit under his belt, he's going to get even better. A couple other people that would like to mention, a couple of our coaches, Rachel Owens. She came number 10th teacher in the region and number 2 in the state. And, this is something that Rachel's been working on big time, is just improving her mental strength and also improving her endurance. And it's paid off this year. The fact that she's went back and tried to get more well-rounded and just come with a better attitude towards the open has helped her with her placement. 10th in the region as a teacher, number 2 in the state, top 200 female in the region. Those are pretty good scores. Yeah. People don't realize, like, with everything that you got to do, going through school, being a student teacher, all that other stuff. That's a pretty good score with all that stuff on your table. Cassie Wood. All right, Cassie's like my little sister. I like to give her a hard time because she's the type that reacts to ribbing. If you give her a hard time, she's going to usually perform even better. So that being said, she came 40th as a student in the region and number 7 in the state of Tennessee as a student, and was top 350 in the region. And what people don't realize is Cassie's only 20. Just the way she carries herself, her presence, the way she coaches the athletes in the gym, the way she stays drama-free. She's just wise beyond her years, and I look for her this year. She's got some big plans coming up this year. We've talked a little bit about it. She's going a pretty awesome route, and I'm looking really forward to it because I'm excited for her. Like, this is something that she's going to venture off on her own, and she's going to figure out some things as an athlete that's going to be, like, that light bulb's going to come off for her. So I'm really excited for her for this year coming up. Another one is Mike Smith. Mike Smith, who moved into the 35 to 39 division, was ecstatic. This is his first year in that division. He came out guns a-blazing, just killed a lot of the workouts. 18.4 was a big workout for him. The deadlift, handstand push-up workout. For him to motor through 315 after we've worked through his strength for the entire year and get to some handstand walks was awesome. And he had one of the top 35 to 39-year-old division scores in the area, and one of the top scores in the region. So looking forward to Mike this coming year. He's going to be doing some crazy good stuff. And then we also got Larry Bellis, came 6th in the Central East and number 1 in the state. What people don't realize, as a nurse. So he came in the nurses division. What a lot of people don't realize is that Larry's schedule, he's a hospice nurse. So he's actually on 24-hour call. So Larry could be going out late night and coming in and training on 4 hours of sleep. So for me, looking at him as a coach to an athlete standpoint, I'm like, dude's putting in some work to be having not the best schedule that's conducive for somebody to have those scores. So we'll talk a little bit about our box scores.
Yeah, so go down each workout. We'll talk about the strengths and weaknesses of those.
All right, so we'll start out with 18-1. We came 113th in the region. We had several people actually have good scores at this workout, but as a box and as a team, we just were poor at it. A good score for that for a male is in the 400s. A good score for that for the female is close to the 400s or above. Our average score was like in the 350s. People look at it and say, well, I need more dumbbell work. I think we've done enough dumbbell work in our gym. It's one of the highest things that we do, and people think that I'm crazy for doing it, yet they keep PR in their lifts. Why? Because we do so much unilateral work. So I believe dumbbells, we're okay on the dumbbell department. So AKA, we need to work on our aerobic ability. What's funny is that we actually had in place a program that was periodized every Thursday working on flow sessions, yet everybody wanted to miss it because it was too easy. We're working on your aerobic ability is long enduring stuff. It's got to be easy. It's not supposed to be hard. You're trying to keep your heart rate up for 45 to 60 minutes. That's how you build your aerobic ability. You build the size of your heart. You build the strength of your heart. You build the production of oxygen to your heart. You don't do that by sprinting 1 minute as hard as you can.
Yeah.
That's a different energy pathway. You have to understand that's a different energy pathway. 18-2, which was our worst finish, 125th in the region. Biggest thing with 18-2, the dumbbell front squat and the burpees, is people telling me, I said, well, what do you think was wrong with 18-2A? And they're like, well, I struggle with the front squat. Did you struggle with the weight of the front squat or being familiar and it being an odd object on you and how to hold it? I'm going to go with it was just an odd movement, right? I feel like you struggled more by the burpees. You couldn't do high capacity burpees fast for that time duration. So the time duration for that workout was anywhere from 4 minutes to 8 minutes. That's where you need to live at in that workout, 4 to 8 minutes. So that's a glycolytic pathway. That means it's supposed to be high intensity, it's supposed to be hard breathing, it's supposed to be burning. One thing that our box struggles with tremendously is intensity. So that tells me that we need more CrossFit. And then we go into 18-2A, the lift came in 36th in the region. Not a lot to talk about that. I
Crushed it.
Yeah, I crushed it, did really well. You know,
A lot of PRs across the board.
a lot of PRs across the board for everybody. Don't think that we need to go in depth about what that means as a box. Pretty much we can move weight at under fatigue. So everything's fine there. Okay. Could have even been even higher if we would have went with Matt's higher score. That's my fault as a coach. That being said, don't even go over that one. All right. 18-3, 63rd in the region. So double unders, muscle ups, and more muscle ups. All right, overhead squats, dumbbell snatch. We do that so much in class.
Skill.
We do so much double unders that's what enhanced our scores.
Yeah.
We had 4 girls do ring muscle ups. Four females do ring muscle ups this year in the workout. Not just do ring muscle ups, some of them get to the bar muscle up. So that's even bigger, all right? So that means our capacity for skill is there, but what we need to figure out is how to increase our gymnastics strength. So that means doing more strict pull-ups, doing more strict dips, doing more transitions, doing more holds. Like, we have to understand that the only way that score is going to increase is by doing the little stuff. Once we build the base for a couple months, then we can go into capacity. 18-4, I've told everybody, handstand walks being open. Everybody thought I was stupid. But handstand walks, high capacity deadlift, capacity for handstand push-ups, all stuff that we do in the gym, paid off. So the people that came on the flow days and did handstand walks were able to perform handstand walks.
Also, another thing to note, our box, as far as I know, no one had an issue with the standard.
Yeah,
We're actually happy that that standard was implemented.
Yeah, so that's another thing too. I don't think we had anybody in the gym that was upset about the standard or saying, no, this standard screwed me. It was more of us saying, thank God this standard was put in place, because now it's impossible to cheat that standard. Now, is there a better way that they could do that standard? Yes, there is a way that could make it beneficial for everybody.
But at least it's challenging for everyone.
But at least it's challenging for everyone. If you've been locking your arms out on handstand push-ups, you had no issue. Other thing too is those people that were in the scale division looked at me and said, man, I'm glad we did flow sessions with bear crawls, warm-ups with bear crawls. I had no issue with bear crawls, which a lot of people don't understand. Bear crawls can get pretty fatiguing. They're pretty taxing on your shoulders and your posterior chain. So just an overall as a performance for box workout, unreal. Joe Brown, almost finished the workout. So pumped about that. And then 18.5, we came in 93rd, which again is not a terrible spot, but again, it's a place of improvement. So it's another CrossFit workout, another, what we talked about earlier, glycolytic pathway, right? Stuff that we need to work on. Glycolytic workouts you can look for in the future that you don't need to miss is stuff like Helen, your Dianes, your Frans, your basically all your girl workouts.
High intensity.
Right, and I'm not saying that we need to do the girl workouts to get better at that. I'm saying that we need to bring that kind of intensity to those workouts. Yeah. That's a big difference. Like, you don't continuously do the same workouts over and over again. To increase that, you train the pathway the correct way with accuracy. So that's stuff that we can look forward for the box. Big time stuff coming up with the programming. Like, we've got Murph coming up.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot more running, a lot more strict work, a lot of pull-ups. If you're wanting to get better at Murph, like, you're going to have to understand this time is the time to build the base. We're going to be building strength. We're going to be doing long, enduring stuff. So now's the time to come to class.
And we will have a programming series once every month, maybe release a podcast on programming. With that being said, let's wrap up. What should CrossFit East 10 members be expecting to see?
We should really be focusing on building a base, building our absolute strength, building our gymnastic strength, building our capacity in our aerobic, building our intensity, understanding what intensity is. So for those that are doing fitness-wise, you're going to love it, right? You're not going to have any pressure to come in and hit big lifts all the time. And those who are listening, no, we're not stopping lifting either. Josh has heard me say it 1,000 times. The only way to increase your strength is to be fit. You have to be fit in order to increase your strength. That being said, you should look forward to a lot more gymnastic strength, a lot more absolute strength, and a lot more just fitness.
That's it. Let's get better.
All right, so now it comes our time that we have our featured member or coach, and today we have one of my best coaches I've ever had in my entire life. Right next to me, that's in any sport, and that's Brett DeBruin. So we're going to talk a little bit about just you in general. So how long have you done CrossFit?
I'm doing CrossFit for over 7 years now, since early 2011.
So what is your favorite thing about CrossFit?
For me personally, CrossFit, I started CrossFit to get in shape and lose weight after I gained a lot of weight in college, after I stopped playing football. So it initially was just to get me back in shape, and honestly it's one of the best things that ever happened because it helps me stay healthy, it keeps me motivated to stay healthy, and it allows me to get some of my competitiveness that I don't get from sports anymore. So, but still to this day, CrossFit mainly just helps me stay in shape and healthy for my family, and to honestly mentally keep me feeling better about not gaining my weight back and everything like people tend to do and everything, and just keeps me motivated to not go back to those times in my life where I was overweight.
Awesome. That's one of the best things, because that's why you're so valuable as a coach to me. When you first started working here, is because you had that background, you understand the work that goes into that, and you can relay that to people. You know, I tell people all the time, talk to Brett, and they're like, why? And I'm like, he has more experience of going through these trials than I do. Like, and that doesn't, and what I'm talking about is like, I've never had to struggle with having to lose weight, but somebody that has to go through all that stuff, and I tell everybody all the time, is like they become mentally stronger and they harden themselves up. That's a perfect example is you. So what are two things or one thing that you value that keeps you going?
One, just like I said, honestly, is to just maintain my my level of fitness, my health, and my kids. I want to be able to, when I'm in my 30s and 40s, go throw the football and baseball and stuff with my son, and I want to be able to go in the pool and swim with my little girl. I want to be able to do the things that my dad was able to do. And I see a lot of parents these days, they can't even go outside with their kids, or they're hurt or something's wrong. I don't want any of those problems. I don't want to have those health problems later in life. So that constantly keeps me motivated as a main factor. The other thing with CrossFit that I like is there's always something challenging, right? So when you excel at one movement, there's always something you have to work on. There's so many different variety of exercises that you can do and get better at. So, just this past, 4 to 6 months, my lifting has always been something I like to do, I was strong at, and I was like, I could do gymnastics, but it was never something I was what I considered great at, and I wanted to work at it. And the coolest part about that is I would hit small PRs on my gymnastics, and it was almost as if I had started CrossFit over again. So like I could only do 15, 16 kipping chest bar pull-ups in a row. And now I can do 25 butterflies unbroken over the time that I spend working on it. And that to me is all, like, that's a huge PR, and it's just as if I had worked my butt off working on a snatch to hit 260 or something. You know, it's those little things that still, like I said, it's as if I started CrossFit over again, and I'm trying to hit new goals and new PRs, and it's just as satisfying actually to hit the little things. Even still as a coach, I've been doing it, I'm still progressing, and that's exciting. Like handstand walks, been busting my butt on handstand walks. When I can span the whole room without falling, I was like, my God, that's awesome. And it's just as exciting as if, you know, when I was hitting back squat PRs and stuff. And so it's just, that's why I like CrossFit, because I can always do something and improve on something, and it doesn't have to be a lift or anything. It can be something that is as simple as a run. You know, I suck at running, so when I go run, if I PR on a mile, I'm the happiest person in the world, because that's always been one of my worst things that I've done, and that's something I can always strive to do.
Yeah,
get
so
better at.
I know you're short on time, and so we got three things to end with here, and that is, how long have you coached? What do you enjoy about coaching, and what do you do outside the gym?
So over 6 years I've coached now. What I really enjoy about coaching is I like to be able to help a wide range of people, spanning from somebody trying to get heavier lifts, you know, athletics, but I also, you know, like working with, you know, people just trying to get healthy and fixed. I know what it's like, and I really, it seems like I wouldn't be, but I really like helping somebody do and explaining exercises on something they can't do, like a muscle up, right? It took me forever to be able to do a muscle up, you know, because I had to lose weight, I had to develop the strength, I had to develop the positions, you know, bust my butt. It took me over 1.5 years to be able to do a muscle up after I lost weight. So I know what the process is, and I know how frustrating it is to go through all the steps and continually practice, continually try. I know the grind, and I like being able to let people know how to go through that grind and how to stay motivated and how to keep going, because I know what it feels like, and it's very frustrating, and it can be, you know, you can definitely get your morality down on it, but you just need to keep pushing, and I like being able to help people do that and let them know that it is achievable. You know, when you listen to motivational speakers and stuff like that, when they say stuff is achievable, you just got to believe in yourself and dedicate it to it. That is the honest truth. You have to believe in yourself, you have to stay dedicated, and you can do it. And you know, sometimes I come across as brash, or I don't, you know, as mean or anything, but it's because I know everyone is capable about doing it. You just have to be willing to put the hard work in. I know what it feels like. It sucks and it's hard. I know how it feels, and I just want them to understand that they can do it if they just stick to it and stay dedicated, because I did it, and I know if I can do it, then everybody else can.
So what's one thing you do outside the gym?
So we've done, let's see here. So I guess for the last couple months now, my little girl swims. So on Sundays we go to family swim time at a pool around here, and so we'll take little man and Matea, and we'll just go swim and have fun and do that on Sundays. We'll go to, you know, we'll do church things, just spend time at my in-laws' farm and do things like that. Just mostly just spend as much time with the kids as I can, because I'm usually at the gym. So
Family.
yeah, if I have on the weekends when I'm not here, it's with the kids or doing something with them, or trying to enjoy the time with my wife and just enjoy outside the gym as much as I can. But you know, just doing things outside, going to the park, playing with the kids. Wintertime stinks because you're stuck inside, but you still find stuff to do with the kids. But you know, but that's like I said, we've been doing a lot of just going to the pool and things like that with them on Sundays, trying to make an effort to. So you know, they're staying active as well, even though it's cold and whatnot, and just let them enjoy it too. So
Awesome.
yep, that's what.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks.